up? I'm not James, but I am here to fill in for him, and this is Jen. Welcome to I Must Ask You a Question. And I didn't get to share this out yet because I was too busy dealing with the double sounds that we were hearing in the beginning. But Jen, good morning. How's it going?
Good morning. I did the sharing, so we're good.
Awesome, awesome. At least one of us did, and someone will be watching.
Oh
So
yeah.
it's been a wonderful week. You guys are coming off of or free comic book day, and today is
Okay.
new comic book day. So let's talk a little bit about your weekend before we jump into anything else.
Oh yeah. That sounds great.
So how'd it go? How was your guys' free comic book day?
Oh, I have something to show you. I
All
have
right.
the best picture ever. So I have a really good friend named Santa Claus who came and set up, and then his daughter,
Oh,
which a lot of people know about, is also a photographer.
oh, that's
So
cool.
he made a really boss picture of us together, which
That's
now if anyone
awesome.
says, "Are you good?" I'll be like, "Santa thinks so."
That's awesome. I think you'll forever be good on his good list, right? That's awesome.
It's
So
so cute because he was teasing some people, like adults, when they would come over and see him. He was like going,
that's awesome. So do you guys usually do something for free comic book day?
We do. In years past, we've gone really big, right? We've flown special guests
Oh
in
wow.
and had a bunch of activities going on. So, like in years past, like we've had Justin Harder, who did like the end scene credits for Deadpool, the
Oh
really
cool.
funny ones. His mom and family live here in town, so he grew up around here. So he's easy to say we're gonna pay for a flight, and he'll come because he can stay with his parents. And he likes coming. And if we do that, we have like a bunch of Deadpool related stuff. Like for 3 years in a row, we did a really fun thing we called Deadpool Olympics, in
Oh,
which we had events where like we were saying you're encouraged to dress up as Deadpool, but if you can't, that's fine. And then I actually have
that's cool.
like tricycles for this, but we'd have like tricycle jousting where you had to drive
That
your
sounds so fun.
tricycle and you had to put your like we had a foam
Uh-huh.
like a pool noodle and you had
Yeah.
to hold it under your arm. You weren't allowed to touch your pool noodle with your hand.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so fun.
Then we had horse races. So we had like those
Oh, wow.
horse things, heads on a stick, and they had to put it between their knees, but they couldn't hold the horse, so they
So
had to try.
I know your shop is huge, but do you guys have room for activities like that?
We do it outside the front.
Okay. Oh, that's so cool. I've been to free comic book days like here that done some big stuff. Like there's an ongoing thing, a yearly thing going on here downtown Mesa, where one shop there's a comic shop down there, but they gather around all the shops on Main Street, and they all like participate. So everybody on Main Street, all a handful of shops there, they all have little. So it's basically you can go to all that you have. It's like a scavenger hunt too. You get a paper,
Mm-hmm.
you get a map of all these places that are passing out books, and certain places will have they'll all have the same ones, but then they'll have those really cool looking ones for the people, the collectors that
Yeah.
look for the good ones. They'll have those ones selected few in these different places, so you got to get there super early and get there because there's a long line, and in Arizona it's hot and it's outside and it's a whole day's worth, and you got to pack up and think about things like
Mm-hmm.
you gotta pack up water and backpacks, and you gotta have jogging shoes, like it's a whole thing.
I like
So
that
this
idea a lot because I'm in a strip center, so that I could actually
uh,
do that. I go because like my sister's store participated and had a sidewalk sale, but it would be cool to
Kyle.
like divvy them out like the books and actually have them be unique to the different stores in your center. So
Mhm.
it'll be a sweet thing to work together with other shops that aren't
it's,
related to
it's
yours at all.
and it's really cool, and it's a cool thing to kind of gather the community, to get to know the different businesses, and then you guys will forever have a really cool relationship with one another, and you guys will be like, hey, remember we did that cool thing, and that's a cool friendship with all the businesses and the community, and it's just a really awesome fun thing to kind of get some fun stuff for the kids out there, man.
Oh yeah.
It's been a rough few years. We need some more stuff like this, especially if it's outside and it's a little more safe. I think it's time to get back into that stuff.
Yeah.
Even like that doesn't mean things are gone away. That doesn't mean that we're not. But proper precautions, and we can still have fun. So Kyle says he wants to try Sickle Joust me.
I think that would be good.
I think we might have to do that. We might have to create a huge event, and then me and Kyle might have to fly out to Houston, and we'll do some cool stuff.
I think October might be the time. There's all the stars are aligning to make a really huge. I'm talking to some big people to come out and do some stuff.
That sounds fun. Listen. I am. If I have enough time, I will be there. I'm down for that all day. I got my buddy Milton Lawson. I'll talk to him. He'll probably let me stay at his house. He'll be open for that all day long, and we'll probably end up doing some stuff. But Kyle says he's gonna win. You know what, Kyle? He's already trash talking. You see this? You see this?
Are you saying you have really strong armpits, Kyle? Because that's what this takes.
Whoa, that's not. Listen, if he's got strong armpits, I'll stay away.
I think my favorite one. I like all of those things. Or like we have also big wheel races. But the thing I think I like the most is we have one of those like the red man kick things, except for one that doesn't look like a dude. It looks like just like a straight up and down red deal that you pick, and it has like a weighted bottom. So we've taped Francis's face onto it. And it literally lives in my garage for the sole purpose of being that once a year. It's like the event is to kick Francis, of course, but to do it in style. So it's all about style points. It's not really about how much damage. So there's like some pretty funny approaches to the kick or hit.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what cool books did you pass out this week?
You know, there were some really awesome titles. We actually sold out of a lot of things, so we don't have everything but that.
I know Scout had a really cool with that. We had the Black Caravan. What was it?
Electric Black.
Electric Black. Children Came Zero. So that one was really cool. I'm excited to see that. Listen, I didn't get to go out this weekend for Free Comic Book Day. I was busy doing other things, and so I wasn't able to go, and I was like, okay, there was a small chance where we were going to go. We were actually closer to Jesse James' shop, and I don't think he was doing too much, but I was like, well, let's go pop in, and I was like, well, things kind of got a little, hi son, when things got a little crazy and fun, so we ended up going and sticking around and hanging out. What's up?
Oh, we get to see him. Hi, Bubba. How you doing?
Say hi.
Something's wrong with the TV.
Oh, something's wrong with the TV. All right,
That's not good.
Can you go get your grandma and tell her and ask her or your brother see if he can help you?
No, he's my grandma.
Okay.
Nana's my grandma.
Okay, and your Nana's not grandma. Okay, thank you. Excuse me, I'm gonna close the door. Sorry.
I love that so much. Hey man, that's the next generation. That's the reason why comic books we're keeping comic books around, so we have something for them.
Yeah. And yeah, they love coming in here.
Did you ever end up with a set of Free Comic Book Day books?
For this week, this year, I did not get any Free Comic Book Day books this week.
I'll get you hooked up. We're out of a couple of them, but I'll just make you a set.
Awesome, I appreciate that. Yeah, the kids would love that, and what we'll do is I'll make a video. How about that? I'll do it. What's in the box, and I'll do it straight from the EXP, and we'll throw it all over the social media. We'll use it.
Do you need doubles for the kids' books, right?
Possibly, yes. Yes. I
you.
appreciate that. That's really awesome of you. Yeah, we didn't get to go out. We ended up going to my mom's and just hanging out there. And I think the little ones were asleep, and then my 12-year-old, he was like, "Nah, I don't feel like going," because he was on his video games. So
that sounds familiar.
I was like, all right, I guess we'll just stay then. So, but yeah, but one cool thing that's going to be happening here for the summer for me is I'm going to be working our comic convention. So it used to be called the Phoenix Comic Con, but all that craziness happened, and actually, fun fact, the CEO of this it's called Square Egg Entertainment.
Mhm.
The gentleman actually went and he was a witness in that, or not a witness, he testified in that court case,
The Salt Lake.
the Salt Lake court case and the San Diego thing that was going on. So he was there advocating for others to use the word, the copyrighted Comic Con. That's a whole craziness, right?
Mhm.
And,
They have a
but
right. They have a right to protect their brand name, but they should do it evenly.
yes, listen, I'm a brand guy, right? And I help people advocate and push their brand and stuff. But when it comes to like, I'm not a lawyer, but when it comes to cease and desists and all these craziness, I
Mhm.
just tend to be like, let's just do the easy thing and let's maybe just change our name. And I think that's kind of what everybody did. They're just like, you know what, the easy thing is to not just have a crazy fight and let them have it. But that's where I don't want to go into a debate about this, but I feel like everybody should be able to use the word Comic Con. And it's you're talking about
Mhm.
what it is. It's not a brand name. Whatever.
I
That's a
think
different story.
I think the sticking point was San Diego Comic Con became known as just Comic Con, and when other comic book conventions wanted to do just to using just the name Comic Con
Mm-hmm.
and trying to claim that, then it became okay. Well, we gotta clarify here.
Yeah. So long story short, we went through it was Phoenix Comic Con, then it was Phoenix Fan Fest, and now it's Phoenix Fan Fusion.
Ooh, I like that.
So now it's gonna stay Phoenix Fan Fusion. Um Obviously because when they first started it was hugely, centered around comics, and now it's grown into this pop culture thing, right? And like the comic book conventions are part of a of a pop culture all in itself. So it's just a place for everything. And yeah, I know the old school guys, and they're like, man, I miss those comic conventions that used to be held in the basements of old dusty churches. Those were the old school first cons. But I admire those too. But these are fun. They're fun for everybody, right?
It's very true. Yeah. And I like the new name because it's very alliterative.
Yeah. And it's cool. But we have all kinds of cool people. We usually get Tony Parker likes to hang out there because he was an Arizona native for a while. So he's like, yeah, he was a big part of the Phoenix comic culture here. So and he still loves this place. He's since moved. But like every year that he's able to, he's got a table. So really cool dude. So what you guys have a big con out there, right?
Yeah, it used to be, and I prefer it very much more during Memorial Day, but because of like scheduling things that happened during the pandemic, then they kind of lost that week to I think Microsoft or someone. But so now they've moved it to the week before San Diego Comic Con, which is kind of interesting.
That's fun.
But it's Comicpalooza. It's actually a really great convention. I really enjoy it. It's run well. It's partially owned by the city, so they kind of like it's important to them that it goes well.
Yeah.
The only thing that I think they need to work on, and we've told them, so I think they are, is to kind of balance out more the what I call celebrity guests and the comic book guests. I think they would have a lot more like if you want to have a balanced dealer's room, you have to have a balanced guest list, because if you skew it one way or the other, you're going to have dealers come that fit the needs of those things. So if we know there's a bunch of comic book guests, then you have a lot of comic book dealers come so that people can find things to get signed by those people, and that works out well.
Yeah, a little bit of for everybody. I think that's key. I agree with that. Yeah, and it's fun. I'm really excited about this because I'm going to be taking a new position doing his. Before I was doing talent relations. That's a little bit more in my wheelhouse, right? I like it's more in my wheelhouse. I deal with comic book creators and I email and book people all day. So it was natural for me to just kind of schmooze them and talk to them and take them to their panels and stuff. now they got me in programming, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So it was like, I mean, obviously it's gonna be real. It'll be like a crash course. I'll figure it out. But I'm just like, the other thing was a little bit more natural for me. But
Programming
it's
is
fun.
a real tough position. I don't think people realize how hard that is to try to balance what's going to happen when, because you
Yeah.
cannot have your celebrity guests, booked for photo ops
Mhm.
and then like 2 minutes later have them have to be in a panel room. There has to be buffers, and then
Yeah.
they have to have enough time sitting at their table that they're not always away from their table and doing other things.
Yeah.
It's a tough, like, and you have people that have to be on a panel together, so you have to organize and make sure you
Mhm.
don't.
Yeah, there was last time that I was there working, I had I think I had told this story before. I had to take Capullo, Snyder, and Glapian up to their up to their panel, and they got lost. I ended
No.
up finding them in the kitchen area in one of the back in the they so those elevators, one door opens up and it's usually goes to the kitchen area, and the other one is main area. They the back door open, they're like, oh, this door's open, so they walked out that way. So,
So
and I was like,
they put them to work. Were they like making like little
I was
napping ducks or something?
right. Right. I go, I was like, you know what? I bet you they got lost in the kitchen. So I go into the elevator and I open, and the door opens up. And sure enough, they're there. They're like looking around, and people like I see wait staff like passing by and like trying to move by them quickly. And
They
I'm
have
just
stuff
like,
to do.
and I was like, come on, guys, let's go. You guys took the wrong door. So it's just it's fun. But yeah, there's those things like that where you need to make sure that, because sometimes the creators are like, oh, nobody came to get us, so we're just gonna go, and then they go and they get lost. And then either sometimes they leave early, sometimes they leave late, so it's like all those things. You have to make sure that there's somebody in place to take care of it, and so that it all goes smoothly. It's a wild ride, though. I would not wish that kind of job on anybody on a daily basis. It's a lot of work.
Because what people don't know is that a lot of conventions rely heavily on their volunteer base,
Mhm.
and that there's a lot of volunteers that sign up at the very beginning. And as
Yeah,
the
yeah,
days get closer to the con, a lot of those people fall off. I can't do it.
yeah.
I forgot I was supposed to be somewhere.
Mhm. Well,
You have
what's
a,
cool about this one is this is a paid position, so
oh, that's
they
nice.
they don't have any volunteers. They pay everybody. So now, to be, so to kind of eliminate that kind of factor.
Mhm.
They did. That's how they kind of started in the beginning. It was all volunteer based.
Mhm. They probably
So
realized that this was going to
and
happen. They couldn't
mhm.
do that anymore.
Yeah, they couldn't do that anymore, because that same exact scenario would happen a
Mhm.
lot more. And then eventually they had like an actual volunteer group who was like, they actually had it was like an comic book advocacy group where they do these things. They put on these shows, and they put on these like little live podcasts on in like different venues and things of that. And like, so it's really cool that they've partnered with actual volunteer groups that actually hold themselves accountable,
Mhm.
because to be a part of that group you pay dues and all this stuff. So it's a whole thing. So
I like that a
there's
lot.
really cool things that people do out there and stuff. So it's a different world when you start getting into the comic book convention stuff.
I think the coolest volunteer group I've ever seen is for Baltimore Comic Con. If you've never been there at the opening of Baltimore Comic Con, they spend a lot of extra days, the volunteers, doing like getting together and learning things, so they all have knowledge instead of just being like, stand here at this door, and then they don't know any answers to questions. They
Yeah.
give them all the tools they need. All of them know everything, and they all have cool shirts. And at the beginning of each day, they line up outside the doors of the dealer room, and they're all like cheering, and you give high fives as you go in. They're excited to do what they're doing. It doesn't feel like a chore. They're like super
Yeah.
happy about it. So big mad props to you guys out in Baltimore that every
Yeah.
year put on the really great show and give
I'm
all your.
I'm very excited. See, this is the first con that I've been to in 2018, 2019,
That's a
I
long
think.
time.
That's a long time.
Mhm.
and Yeah, because that was right around it was right around the time that everything was starting to close down. I went one year, worked 1 year, and then the year after that they asked me to come and work, and I wasn't able to. Um, I was doing other things, um and then the pandemic hit and everything got canceled because I was going to come back that in 2020 to go work, and everything got shut down. So now then they sent me. They're like, okay, we're back. You want to come back and work? So so now I'm doing it, and I'm hoping I'm going to do it every year if everything kind of works out. It's kind of worked out these last few years, so we'll see how it goes. It's a different position. We'll see how it goes.
It is great to have people on staff that have experience, even if it's not in the section they're in. They at least have they know what to expect and how much work it is.
Yeah,
and they're doing it because they love doing it.
Yeah,
no one sticks around more than a year that doesn't like it, even for money.
it's super cool. And then really cool incentive. I get to be on the floor, like, so the badges and all that stuff I get to get into the con for free before and after my shifts and all that stuff. So pretty awesome stuff. I think I'm gonna use this opportunity to network a little bit more, widen my my Rolodex a little bit there. I should probably make some cards, huh?
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I'm going to Washington D.C. to go to the Mega Boost Gather for Facebook.
Oh, cool.
I was thinking I should have fancy cards. That would be
yeah. That'd be a smart thing to do. So, what's going on this week in the comic shop?
There were some fun books. It's kind of interesting. There was one that I didn't order very heavily on because I was like, well, I don't know. This is going to be a very much a hit or miss book. But DC had a book called instead of being Justice League, it was Jurassic League. And in this case, all of the Justice League members were actual dinosaurs. And I was like, come on, this is probably going to be dumb. But it ended up being actually really good and already sold out.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. And isn't that so weird? Sometimes you're like, I don't know if this one's going to be doing good. And then you don't order enough and it's all, they sell out. You're like, what the heck? So weird. And some of the weirdest things are like, they sell really good.
Oh yeah. And then Dynamite had a fun thing that they did this week. They did kind of a you remember when Image did those dollar books, dollar number ones, like jump on point books? They did an even better price point. It was like 50-cent jump on points, and they reprinted The Boys Hero-gasm, which is definitely not for kids, by the way. Just guessing. And then Boys number 7, which is the first appearance of, I think, Stormbreaker. And then the the Dracula Vampirilla Unholy number 1, and then there was another one. Oh, the Army of Darkness crossover.
Nice. That's awesome.
So for like two whole doll hairs, you can get 4 books. And
that's cool. Yeah, because that caters to those guys who like to do the quarter bin deep dives and stuff like that. So yeah, that's fun, man. I love that. And Dynamite, they're doing some really cool stuff this week. I think it's Nick's birthday coming up here this weekend, right?
Yeah, he's got at least, I think he said 4 pages or 5 pages that he's selling. These are original art pages from
original art pages. So on the original art show, just for starting at $53, you guys can grab some really cool original art pages. You guys can take a look at the EXP and Dynamic Forces TikTok and all that good stuff, and all that information is there. We're going to be pushing some really cool stuff out this week as well. So make sure you guys are watching Dynamic Forces.
But you guys can guess how old Mr. Barucci is by his $53 price point.
$53 on a few of those pages, and they're going to have all kinds of other stuff on the original art experience. So really cool. So make sure you guys check that out.
Fun fact, there is, I would say, if I was going to put just like a guess to it, there are at least 50% of the people that are in the comic book industry right now, comic book store owners and publishers, that are between 52 and 53 years old.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
I know that's a weird, very specific thing.
It is.
I think we were all born on the same day. I was born on the same day as David Gabriel. It's just like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
And then so
Great.
tonight they have a show tonight at that would be 6 p.m. your EST. So they got some
Mhm.
stuff going on tonight. They're gonna be selling some cool stuff, and then I believe Friday, correct? Is that correct?
Yeah, Friday is definitely, it's the 13th is his birthday thing.
So Friday is the $53 sale. So the
Mhm.
day before his birthday, he's gonna be selling all those cool stuff. So make sure you guys go check that out.
I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna try to win, but I don't think I'm fast enough.
They got some sharks in their show, so you got to be careful. Be careful those waters. They got some good stuff. They have amazing offerings. Like he's got a great collection. So and he's been in the business for years. So I mean, anybody with that kind of extensive background of they would have a really great collection, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Super cool, super cool. Okay, it's about time for us to close up here. Do you happen to have a question? Because we end this show. It's called "I Must Ask You a Question."
Yeah.
So we end out the show with a question. If
Okay.
not,
I've got one.
Okay.
Because it's very timely. There's a book that came out this week called 8 Billion Genies, in which it's an image book done by the same team as Curse Words.
Yeah.
And in this book, every single human being on the planet gets their own personal genie and gets one wish. And they can't wish for more wishes. So it's just a single wish that you get. So if in this scenario you got your very own personal genie, Joey, what would you wish for?
I would wish for I would wish to be successful and not have to worry.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one. I said that I would like to figure out a way to wish for everyone to be free from physical pain, but then I realized that jinns are not to be trusted, so that might just mean we just kill them all. So I would have to figure out how to word it correctly.
I'm a little weary though, because I think I would have to kind of get to know my genie a little bit and be kind of all right, I need to know you a little bit more to ask you for this thing, because I want to know if this genie is gonna every time you do one of those genie things, there's always a catch.
Yes, there
So
is.
I want to know what the catch is first before I make my wish.
Get on their good side, right?
Yeah, feed them pizza. Yeah. All right, Jen, it's been a pleasure talking with you. I appreciate you inviting me every week to hang out with you and James. Hopefully he'll be back next week. There's all kinds of crazy cool stuff going on over at Scout. This summer is going to be fun. You guys are excited. Like literally in the beginning of the month, I literally had to create 20 mock-ups, which means in May, in the tail end of May and the beginning of June, there's tons of books that are gonna be dropping. So make sure you guys are checking out. No books dropped this week, but me and Ambrosia are gonna be digging deep into our into Scout Comics, the deep dive bins, and we're gonna be talking about some stuff. I'm working on a video talking about Terminal Protocol, one of my favorites. I always have to go back if I'm going to do a deep dive in some comic book into some Scout Comics. I always go for Terminal Protocol because it's so good and it's a one shot.
And you should deep dive to Sabretooth Dan also, because I have a feeling they're going to bring that thing back.
Okay, I have not read that one, so I do have it. So I'm gonna go read it, and I might talk about that one too. So if you guys are following Scout Comics, make sure you guys are watching all the stuff that we're involved with. Watch me and Ambrosia tonight at 6 p.m. or no, wait, 6 p.m. Yeah, no wait, yeah, 9 p.m. It's 6 p.m. my time. I always do that wrong because I got a 3-hour difference from the New York time. Yes. So I'm like, it's 9 p.m. EST, 6 p.m. my time, which is like Pacific. So make sure you guys are watching us. We're gonna be talking about all kinds of cool stuff there. And follow Jen. She's all over the place. She's got all kinds of cool stuff, selling stuff, talking to cool people, and just all kinds of cool happenings. You work so much. I can't. When do you sleep?
At night.
I don't know how you do it. That's so much. Oh, all right. Jen, I appreciate you. Anything else happening this week?
No, we're going to recover from Free Comic Book Day. and enjoy our new space. So
All right. What else do you have going on today? Any shows that we should be watching?
no, actually, I get to watch other shows. I'm excited to watch the EXP lineup because I put that on while I'm doing my invoicing from the show week. So I like it. It's my happy place.
Yeah, I do too. Like when I feel bored or I'm like feeling stressed out, I the first place I go to is the EXP YouTube page because there's always something there that I can enjoy and get involved in. So make sure you guys are watching. If you guys are not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel and make sure you guys are following all the social media pages. Check us out on TikTok. Check us out on Twitter. All the cool news is going to be dropping there. We're going to be talking about all kinds of cool stuff about what's being sold, what's being talked about, and all kinds of cool creators going to be dropping interviews and all that good stuff. So follow the EXP. You guys are not going to want to miss out. Seriously. It's a lot of fun. All right. I should probably just play this out. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.